Hey, how's it going? Welcome to News Act, Thursday, 2nd December 2021. We're looking from the papers. First up, New York Times, picture from the Supreme Court, abortion access being rolled back. First Omicron case found in California, because that's where half the population lives. Down here, Michigan high school shooting, women's tennis suspended in China because of the missing tennis player. Wall Street Journal, volcanic ash covering a house in La Palma, Canaries. There's been 10 weeks of volcanic eruptions, no sign of stopping. Abortion laws, first Omicron case in America, women's tennis suspended in China. USA Today, suicides in the National Guard, Omicron variant, Michigan high school shooting. New York Post, this Jussie Smollett case, he's an actor, apparently had no idea who he was. He staged some kind of racist attack against himself to boost his profile, and the guy down here in the mask, his friend, said he did it to boost his profile. Chicago Sun-Times, he's on the front there, so I guess it's working. It's boosting his profile. National Post from Canada, missing tennis player, first living robots can self-replicate. Okay, like every new technology, equal parts fascinating and very, very scary. Grandma from Cuba, there's our boy. Today is Cuban Armed Forces Day, celebrating the landing of the Granma yacht, December the 2nd, 1956. Fidel and his boys turned up to show General Batiste who's boss, and he did show him who's boss. Fair play. Thank you, Fidel, for your service and all other Cuban armed forces today. Down the bottom, quote from Fidel, revolutions only occur when there are causes for them. That's a fact. Thank you, Fidel. Star of South Africa, corruption case, petrol price line go up. Jerusalem Post, Omicron, Tehran Times, Iran nuclear talks. Gulf News, that's from the United Arab Emirates. Today is also the National Day of the United Arab Emirates. On December 2nd, 1971, they formed Glorious Nation of the United Arab Emirates after the Brits said they were going to pull out and leave them to their own devices. So, happy for them. Have a good day, lads. The Hindu, Omicron, tax collections line go up. The Australian economy, COVID. Global Times, picture from yesterday in Munich where a World War II bomb went off, injuring 4 people. Underneath that, taking potshots the EU over a global infrastructure project, which they say is to counter the Belt and Road Initiative. Irish Examiner, eating bugs is good for the environment. Yep, eat the bugs, get in the pod, never come out. Vaccines, mandatory vaccines. Ban on booze for Irish troops in the Lebanon. Good, maybe they shouldn't be there. Irish Times, COVID curbs may be coming back. Irish Daily Mail, how I beat my bottle of wine a night lockdown habit. Was it by stopping drinking, Jenny? Underneath that, COVID, another flattering photo of Ghislaine Maxwell is up in court because of her ties to the BFL billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill himself, RIP. Irish Sun, Thirst posting, football, lottery, Belfast Telegraph, football. Epstein's Lolita jet in Belfast stopover. Apparently, Jeffrey was flying in and out to Shannon, Belfast, Waterford, presumably meeting with some high-profile Irish paedophiles, of which there is no shortage on the fine island of Ireland. So, the Herald, White House 2, Trump returns. Yeah, let's make politics exciting again. Down here, people on strike in universities, the workers hope they get what they're looking for. Maybe we need to pay MPs more. Down the bottom from Andy McIver, clearly a Tory. That's not going to happen, mate, hopefully. Financial Times, Supreme Court abortion. Underneath that, America delays deal to lift steel tariffs over Northern Ireland fears. Financial Times are reporting this. The US and the Brits deny it, which means it's probably true. They basically said they won't lift the steel tariffs unless the Brits confirm that they won't trigger Article 16 of the Brexit Protocol, thereby destabilising the fragile peace on the island of Ireland. So finally, Sleepy Joe's Irish connections coming into play for us. Thanks, Joe. Down the bottom, KPMG forcing staff back into the office 4 days a week with a cattle prod. Guardian, COVID, tennis. Independent, 4 stories on top. Boris, Barbados, plastic recycling. Why Spotify Wrapped is problematic. Okay, mate. Supreme Court thing, Omicron, Times, jabs. Another flattering photo of Ghislaine. Something about Emmanuel Macron calling Boris a clown. Down the bottom, EU and migrant row. So the EU have decided to water down the flimsy protections for refugees, and they're now enabling Poland, Latvia and Lithuania to detain all asylum seekers for 16 weeks and permit them to speed up deportation. So it's always a bad day to be a refugee, but today is worse than yesterday. Daily Telegraph, Alistair Heath has come out from whatever hovel he resides in to write this opinion piece. Bureaucrats win when freedom dies. He started off on a good note. He said, the COVID crisis helps the government cover up for other things like the migrant crossings in the channel, MPs' second jobs, etc. But then he went on to say the crisis is also convenient for disruptive trade unions and lazy employees on the lookout for an excuse to work less. Newsflash, mate. Everyone wants to work less. We should have universal basic income and we can work on what we want. Working is also bad for the planet, so shove it. Down here, one of the lesser spotted royals, so we might be seeing more of her. Wife of Prince Edward, Her Royal Highness the Countess of Wessex, Sophie Helen Rhys-Jones. She's half Irish. Her mother was Mary O'Sullivan. She came from a family of mainly Irish shopkeepers and farmers. Sophie herself is, of course, the sister-in-law of Prince Andrew. Still wanted for question regarding his relationship with paedophile billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill himself. RIP. The Macron story, the refugee story. The Mirror, that story about Boris's party last year that no one cares about. Up the top, Prince Andrew was on the Lolita flight, yes, and he needs to answer for his connections to the paedophile billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill himself, RIP. Daily Mail, Thirst posting, another flattering photo of Ghislaine, much the same as the Irish Daily Mail. She is, of course, up in court because of her ties to Jeffrey Epstein, paedophile billionaire financier did not kill himself, RIP. Daily Express, Omicron variant, something about celebs, Metro celebs, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Sajid Javid said, don't cancel anything for Christmas, and it says here, He said to take a lateral flow COVID test before going to keep others safe. That's why the headline says let it flow. But actually what he said was maybe you want to take a lateral flow test. Maybe. And of course, lateral flow tests may miss up to half of cases. So Tory's now pursuing herd immunity via a different name. Daily Star, beards are good for you. Good to hear that. Robots to kill us all. That's the other story. Yeah, maybe they will. Better way to go than having humans kill us all or climate change, I guess. Julian Assange is still in jail in the maximum security Belmarsh prison without fair trial or due process. If you want to stay off corporate, state, social media for the day, click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.